Hello to our viewers, Lochani Babugeli, Tobela Babugedi, and welcome to another episode of SALGA TV. Let's have a look at what you can expect from this episode. Coming up in this edition of SALGA TV is a focus on the professionalization of local government and how this aspect is a building block towards an improved level of service delivery for South African citizens. We interview Professor Trevor Fowler about the professionalization of the local government sector, and then we close off with a discussion with two councillors that completed a course in leadership in municipal governance through the Wits School of Governance. Up next, we have Professor Trevor Fowler. Professor Fowler, welcome to SALGA TV, and thank you so much for affording us this opportunity to have this discussion with you.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me to SALGA TV. It's a great opportunity to engage with yourself and your viewers.
Now, getting straight into it, what does professionalizing the local government sector actually mean?
Well, professionalism in the local government sector has two aspects to it. First, I'll talk about the political aspect. It is important for councillors to understand that they understand their role as public representatives. They are the voice of the people they represent in their wards, and more broadly, if they are proportional representatives, where they are representing the electoral mandate of their party. Ward councillors should also understand that they are elected on a mandate in the party manifesto. They make policy for the municipality. They must be role models for society, because they must be ethical, accountable, responsive to the people, be transparent and be responsible. From the administration point of view, they need to understand that they are accountable to the political leadership. But our constitution is very clear that public civil servants are also accountable to the people and to the constitution. And they have to be able to ensure that they have a knowledge of the field that they are focused on. And so if you're a municipal manager, you need to understand the management systems to ensure that the municipality is able to achieve goals.
What are some of the benefits and common challenges to professionalism in local government?
But professionalism really is about understanding their role in being accountable for what happens in the municipality. The political leadership are responsible to ensure that there's a link with the people they represent. But the civil administration is accountable for what happens. They're accountable for the expenditure, for the human resources, and for the infrastructure. And clearly, one of the key challenges we face is that at a technical level, people are not adequately trained to undertake this responsibility. And it then results in the lack of professionalism.
Why is good governance, accountability, and ethics so important in the public sector?
Well, first of all, I think accountability is the key question that we have to address, because people who are representing a community have to be accountable to that community. They have to ensure that when they are elected, on the basis that they promised the community certain things were going to happen, they may have promised that there'd be new facilities, etc., that they do have to ensure that they try to have that happen in the municipality. And if it's not able to be put in place, they need to come back to the community and explain why it is that these things could not happen or when it will happen. And I think that's where a lot of the accountability is. Then, in terms of good governance is really understanding the rules of the municipality, the laws of the municipality, and the bylaws of the municipality, and the laws of the country that govern it. So that you are able to ensure that that legislation is implemented. And most of it is implemented, most of the legislation is in place to achieve certain goals. And those goals, particularly of service delivery, must be met, and it must be met within the confines of the legal framework.
In your opinion, is enough being done to promote ethical behavior in local government and to sustain it by holding elected officials accountable?
When people are elected from various communities, so we have informal settlements, we have communities where there's very poor service, and we have communities where there are well service, there are roads, etc., water, running water. And this collective that makes up the council. And we assume that the ethics from one community is the same as the other. It's not necessarily the case. Because ethics, there is a common ethical understanding, but there are basic kinds of ethics that relate to how we relate to each other. So those things we have to ensure that we learn those aspects of ethical behavior. And what I'm referring to is that there needs to be a program that, as SALGA does in its induction, it teaches people about what the local government is about, but also covers things such as what ethical behavior. Then the key question is, how do you ensure that ethical behavior is maintained? And that is about consequence management. The Auditor General, in almost all of its reports, says there is a lack of consequence management. And it's something that we really need to ensure happens. And so there are benefits to consequence management, not just about getting people to do the right thing, but also for you to ensure that you are training people and giving them the capability to do their job better.
The lack of political will is often cited as a reason for the failure to actualize good governance, ethics, and accountability in the sector. Why is political commitment and the willingness to take action so important in ensuring accountability in the sector?
Well, the political will is about achieving the mandate on which people are elected. And that mandate applies to both the public representative, but also to the civil servants. And achieving that mandate requires political will. Sometimes it is not easy to correct certain things. If there is infrastructure is being damaged, is it being damaged simply because of people just being vandals and vandalizing it? Or is it possible that there hasn't been sufficient information given to people and there's no ownership, there's no feeling of ownership of that infrastructure? So ensuring that there's the political will is also about the engaging with people and ensuring that you can go back and say, but this is not the correct behavior. This needs to be changed. That's about political will when infrastructure gets damaged. Political will is also about ensuring that when somebody does not do the right thing, that you hold them accountable.
And lastly, Professor Fowler, what can be done to meet the challenges of promoting ethical conduct, behavior, and good governance in local government? Is it a matter of attracting the right people or enhancing accountability mechanisms?
Well, I think it's both of those. First of all, it's attracting the right people. You can't appoint a person to be the municipal manager of a municipality that has a budget of over 25 billion, and that person has only worked in a spaza shop, and then expected to run the municipality. That would work. And that's ensuring that you match the skills that the person has to the job that they are to undertake. So that is the first. The second is about their behavior. The people must behave in a way that is aligned to the environment that they're in. Then the last one about ethical behavior, which we talked about, is important to convey that because of ethics in society.
That's all we have time for today, Professor Fowler. Thank you so much for that insightful discussion. I'm sure our viewers will have a broadened understanding of what professionalization of local government is and why it's a service delivery imperative. Thank you once again.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
To bring this discussion back to our daily experience, we have two councillors that completed a course in leadership in municipal governance through the Wits School of Governance. This was a partnership between SALGA and the Wits University. Now, a warm welcome to Councillor Grobler of the Rand West City Local Municipality and Councillor Nemo from the Greater Tzaneen Local Municipality. Thank you for being with us today, councillors.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
You both graduated from the Wits School of Governance through a partnership program between SALGA and the Wits University. What key skills did you acquire from the program, and how has it impacted in the execution of your roles to ensure service delivery in your municipalities?
Thank you, my lady. Yes, it was an honor to be part of that program. It really assisted me in what I'm doing. Currently, I'm MMC of Finance, and because of all these laws that we use in local government, it is good to be acquainted with them. Know your MFMA, know your Structures Act, know your Systems Act. And with Professor Fowler assisting us with case studies, my lady, that was just the thing we needed. You need to be dedicated. You need to have perseverance in looking what the community expects from you. That was an eye-opener.
Councillor Nemo, and what do you have to add to that?
Thank you very much. You will note that when you go to a municipality or becoming a councillor, you think that because of the little influence that you have, then you are at par with what is expected of councillors in the municipality, whereas it's not. So it assisted us to discover a lot of areas where we thought we know, whereas we are clueless. We were orientated in terms of how we should display leadership, not just ordinary leadership, but a leadership of public value, because we are public office bearers. This program highlighted to a larger extent as to how we should conduct ourselves as councillors and how we should discharge our responsibilities as councillors in a municipality environment. Thank you very much.
From your experience, what are the challenges that you have experienced as a councillor that you believe, should you have not been capacitated or well-trained, you couldn't have performed at optimum level?
Thank you once more. I want to be honest with you that most of us were clueless. We were unable to apply the expected regulations in terms of where they belong. We were unable to then play our leadership responsibilities. So it assisted us to play our role, not confusing or conflicting with what administration is doing. We were then able to understand that ours is pure legislation, or we are legislators, then there will be administration, which will then with all the admin work, and then we just play our oversight role, which is in line with all the municipality or local government regulations. And this program assisted us to stood firm, seeing to it that we then discharge in terms of the expected responsibilities.
Councillor Grobler, what has been your experience with SALGA capacity building programs, and which one has stood out the most for you in your years in local government as a councillor in the Gauteng province?
To communicate. If you cannot communicate effectively, you will not understand the different needs of different areas. We were a group of students together, each one from all over in Gauteng, and we could see that each area's got different needs, but to communicate, that is the most important one. Those items that we have looked at, those programs, the IDP, the communication, where you talk to different stakeholders, get what they expect, and also what you can do to develop the area. My lady, this program was so valuable. I wish new people, the new incumbents, can also be capacitated, because it capacitated me not to be shy, not to hold back, but to be there for your constituency, and also how to assist when they ask the questions. You should not be shy, you should communicate well. Listening skills, my lady, I can't more emphasize what Professor Fowler has said. Listen, be quick to listen, slow to talk, understand the problem first before you engage.
As a follow-up question, Councillor Grobler, would you say that your training goals and objectives have been met through all these continuous learning development programs that SALGA has offered together with its partners?
Definitely so. Without this, I would still be the shy lady, just be a one side, not knowing what to do, what does oversight mean, but it really has assisted. We must compliment SALGA for putting this program there for us. It capacitated you, you know, us women, we must be capacitated, we must get skills, because the world out there are many bullies, if we can put it like that. If you don't stand firm and show that you are knowledgeable, you will not go any further. I am very happy that I was chosen to be part of the program, and here I am today, capacitated. Thank you.
Councillor Nemo, we are nearing the end of the current 5-year term of local government. What message do you have for new incoming councillors on the importance of attending the continuous learning programs offered by SALGA?
Thank you, Madam. So our message to the incoming councillors is that they must cooperate with what SALGA is offering in terms of capacity development programs, because the skills they are acquiring will be a skill which will be with them for the rest of their lives. They are not doing a favor to a SALGA official or a municipality official. They are doing themselves a favor, because the skill which they are acquiring, they will use it in other areas. To SALGA and the school itself, the university, we appreciate all the educators who really understand how adults will want to be treated in learning programs. We advise that if it is possible, they consider accepting those who want to progress, create more units, or enrich the program up to, it can be masters or even wherever, for those who will want to pursue completing the program fully, not attending short courses. So thanks very much.
Now, to both of you councillors, as I've mentioned, or rather as we've all mentioned, we're nearing the end of the current 5-year term. If you could just give us highlights of what you would see in terms of professionalization going forward into the next 5-year term, and what advice perhaps you could give to SALGA and its partners in the journey towards professionalizing the sector, what would those be?
My lady, that professionalism, it is only through confidence. You can only have confidence when you know what you are talking about. And this is where SALGA are giving us the tools. They capacitate incoming councillors with what to expect, how to do oversight, it's like a job description, what you should do and what you should not do. My lady, councillors are there to look at the budget, the tariffs, the bylaws, and without that knowledge, you cannot take it to the community, which are your stakeholders. So we must be capacitated. That is where I call professionalism. Thank you, my lady.
Councillor Nemo, your comments, please.
2 things. One, we need to enrich the program in relation to finance management, because in the program, we're doing more of an introduction to finances. A finance background, it's important for leadership of municipalities, be it in the administration or as councillors. So that is the little which I wanted to contribute, and thanks very much.
Councillors, thank you so much for speaking to us today, and I do believe that fellow councillors have also been encouraged to take up professionalization or capacity building programs by SALGA. Thank you. As the 2016 to 2021 term of local government concludes in October this year, we look to organizations such as SALGA, together with key partners in the sector, to ensure that incoming councillors of the next 5-year term are fully capacitated and upskilled in all required areas to ensure equitable, efficient, and effective service delivery to us all as South African citizens. This is all we had time for in this episode, but do make sure to tune into our next episode, which is dedicated to the SALGA Special National Members Assembly, which was held on the 13th and 14th May 2021. Please also follow our social media pages to stay abreast of local government developments. From me, your host, Meralda Nisalega Mnand.